Shalom. I want to give praise on the glory to Yahweh, Shema Shai, Hashem Kakadash, and the brothers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, Thomas Truth, and peace, blessing, and salutations to the whole elect. Yeah, let's just get started.
Providence officials confirming just moments ago that a person of interest is in custody this morning after the deadly shooting at Brown University. Sources tell ABC News that the suspected shooter was caught based on a tip to law enforcement. But of course, there are still so many questions this morning about this very active investigation in the moments leading up to the shooting.
You know, I don't really need this. Ezekiel 7:5 says, "Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, Hashem Shai, an evil, and only evil, behold, is come, and an end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come." So yeah, man, it's only evil. That's what's coming.
In the moments leading up to the shooting, we just heard from Rhode Island's governor, Providence's mayor, university officials, along with local and federal investigators during an early morning news conference. Also new this morning, Brown University has lifted the shelter-in-place order for all of campus that was active for 12 hours. Though university officials say parts of campus are still considered active crime scenes. Investigators say the first shots were fired just after 4 p.m. Saturday inside a first-floor classroom in the engineering and physics building during
Is Ecclesiastes 39 and 30. It says, "Steve, carrying on." Yeah, Ecclesiastes 39 and 30 says, "Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction." Yeah, like I said, the sword punishing the wicked to destruction. Which obviously the gun, that's a part of the sword. Oh, beautiful.
physics building during a second round of final exams. Cameras captured who authorities say was a person of interest, wearing dark clothing, leaving the site of the deadly shooting moments after shots were fired. Brown's president also confirming that all of the victims are students. 2 are dead, 9 others are injured. Brown University's president opening up this morning about the tough road ahead.
Everybody is reeling, and we have a lot of recovery ahead of us. So my main goal in the coming days and weeks and months, it will take a long time, is to bring people back together and help them feel safe and secure on campus.
Rhode Island's governor says he has spoken with President Donald Trump and FBI Director Kash Patel. The president telling reporters that, quote, all we can do right now is pray for the victims. Now, of course, Rob and Samantha, we will be sure to let you know what we learn about this person of interest as new details emerge throughout the morning.
We are following another deadly mass shooting, this one in Australia, where police say 2 gunmen opened fire on Sydney's famous Bondi Beach, killing at least 11 people. One of the suspects also is dead. Another is in custody. NBC's Raf Sanchez is following the latest developments for us. Raf, what more can you tell us?
Well, Willie, Australian authorities are calling this a terrorist attack targeting the Jewish community.
I forgot the description now. I'm going back.
Are calling this a terrorist attack targeting the Jewish community as it was celebrating the first night of Hanukkah. Here's what we know. As you said, 2 gunmen opened fire with long guns. There are at least 11 people killed, including one of the shooters. The second gunman is in custody in critical condition, and authorities are now investigating whether a third individual was potentially involved. Now, amid the horror, there was also heroism. There is a video that is a little difficult to watch, but I want to show it to you in just a second here. You see, if we have that video, you see the man in white there running up and tackling that suspected gunman. There is a struggle, and you can see he appears to wrestle what looks like a shotgun out of that man's hands. Now, the individual in white has not at this point been identified, but local leaders are hailing what they say were extraordinary acts of personal courage by people who just jumped in at the scene. It is very likely that that man saved some lives by appearing to disarm that gunman. We know that at least 29 people were taken to hospital. Among them are 2 police officers. Authorities are saying police were on the scene and engaging in a gun battle with these shooters within just minutes. Police are also saying that they found a car linked to the killed gunman, which does appear to contain improvised explosive devices. Now, the bomb squad there in Sydney is probing that vehicle. They are looking for more clues. They are looking for more details about the motives. And, Willie, a massive police investigation is now underway. But we can already say at this point that this is one of the worst gun massacres in Australian history.
This should scare the hell out of you. The Trump administration has quietly ordered U.S. airports to hand over the name of every single passenger to ICE. Not suspects, not people with warrants, everyone. The TSA is now feeding ICE passenger lists multiple times a week, and ICE is cross-checking those names against deportation databases. Meaning if you fly, your name is scanned. If ICE thinks you might be deportable, the airport becomes the trap. This started in March. No public announcement, no vote, no warning. And they're already using it. A 19-year-old freshman was arrested at Boston Logan Airport and deported to Honduras. She was brought to the U.S. when she was 7. She didn't know she was deportable. Her family didn't know. She found out at the airport. Another woman was arrested in Salt Lake City the exact same way. This isn't about terrorists. This isn't about violent crime. This is mass surveillance of travelers, repurposed for immigration enforcement. And here's the part that should really get you. TSA was never supposed to be involved in immigration enforcement. Ever. That line just disappeared. DHS says this is about stopping undocumented people from flying, unless it's out of the country. So let's be clear. They turned airports
In Revelation 13:11, it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." And this really going into Esau, man. He comes around as a lamb, like he's innocent. But as you see, the way he speaks is as a dragon, going to those draconian laws. That soon you won't be able to, what's it called? No, as you see, they're taking an oven, signing these deals in. No one asking the people. They're just bringing stuff in. Well, Trump, that's what Trump's doing. He's bringing stuff in. And he's not asking for anyone's, what's the word, He doesn't care about anyone's, I forgot the word, man. I got the word. But as you can see, it's just going back to draconian laws.
clear. They turned airports into ICE checkpoints. They turned boarding passes into screening tools for deportation. And they did it without your consent. If the government can quietly turn flight data into a deportation,
Yeah, see. They did it without their consent. So really, Trump doesn't care what the people. They don't care what the people think. He's just gonna. Well, he's going to carry on doing his thing, which is speak more draconian laws into existence, which they've been planning this for a while.
Dragnet, ask yourself what database is next. Because once everyone's name becomes fair game, no one's privacy is safe.
This morning, 100,000 residents under evacuation warnings in Washington because of catastrophic flooding. More than a foot of rain bringing multiple rivers to historic levels.
This is unlike anything we've seen in a long, long time. I think it's surpassed every flooding record we've had. Neighborhoods inundated with several feet of water. Residents racing to sandbag areas to save their properties.
We're barely keeping up with it.
Eastside Fire and Rescue crew saving 2 drivers using a Navy chopper, one of them clinging onto a tree. 68-year-old William Elliott was rescued by fire officials after he had to evacuate his flooded home.
That's one of the hardest things I've had to do. Just
So Ecclesiastes 29:25, it says, "For the good are good things created from the beginning, so evil things for sinners. The pleasurable things for the whole use of a man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, being wine, and oil and clothing. All these things are for good to the godly, so to the sinners, they are turned into evil." So yeah, man, it's as simple as that.
Flooded home.
that's one of the hardest things I've had to do. Just pack a couple of backpacks and not knowing what you're going to find when you get back.
The Coast Guard rescued these 4 people after rising waters forced the family into their attic and out onto the roof. And the Kings County Sheriff's Office rescued this man Wednesday, stranded on top of his car, surrounded by rushing water.
Overseas now tonight, 2 U.S. Army soldiers and an American civilian serving as an interpreter are dead, killed in Syria after a lone gunman ambushed their patrol. No group has claimed responsibility, but President Trump blamed ISIS. It happened as the president was headed to attend the Army-Navy game in Baltimore, Maryland. CBS's Willie James Enman is at the White House with more on that. Willie.
Jerika, good evening to you. Before leaving for the Army-Navy game today, President Trump paid tribute to the 3 Americans killed in Syria. He also says the U.S. will respond.
There was an ambush, terrible. We also have 3 wounded. They seem to be doing pretty well. But we mourn the loss. These are 3 great people. And it's just a terrible thing.
The Pentagon said a lone gunman killed 2 U.S. soldiers and a U.S. civilian who was working as an interpreter during a joint patrol between U.S. and Syrian forces. 3 service members were also wounded. The attack took place in Palmyra. The gunman is believed to be an ISIS operative who infiltrated a local security force. He was killed after forces engaged. Last month, Syria joined the international coalition to fight against ISIS. ISIS in Syria was defeated in 2019, but sleeper cells of the group still carry out deadly attacks within the country. President Trump says the U.S. will strike back.
U.S. forces are attacked again.
You're going to be seeing. We will retaliate.
Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell says the soldiers were on a mission to support counter-ISIS and counter-terrorism operations. Today in Baltimore, President Trump attended the annual Army-Navy football game. Secretary Pete Hegseth honored the fallen Americans during the game.
We honor them by having their back, and this game demonstrates to the country and reminds the country of how special what they do is.
Jerika, the U.S. military has hundreds of troops based in Syria as part of a coalition to fight and counter ISIS.
It's always about it, man. I want to give all praise on the glory to Yahweh, Shema, Shalom, Shema, Kakadash, and Shalom.